edge of East Asia, tens of thousands of years ago in the depths of the Ice Age. A band of mammoths is heading southwards. Their leader is the oldest female in the group. Arrives at the edge of a frozen river. Crossing its icy surface is fraught with danger for these giant mammoths who weigh more than 6 tons. Frozen crust were to crack, the deep river would instantly become a watery tomb. From the forest comes a pack of saber-toothed tigers, the fiercest creatures found in the Ice Age. But the largest mammoths are not the reward they seek today. Instead, they set their sights on the youngster at the end of the group. The mother is worried about her child, who keeps lagging behind. The saber-toothed cats are waiting for just the right moment, when the young mammoth will be out of reach of her mother. As long as she's near her mother, the youngster is safe. But then, tragedy erupts from an unexpected source. Stuck helplessly in the ice, she is forced to see her beloved offspring killed right in front of her eyes. This is a story from the Ice Age long ago, on a frozen river at the edge of East Asia. From a period from about 2 million years in the past to just 10 millennia ago, the Earth's temperature was lower than at any other period. It was the mother of all ice ages, and this film is about the giant mammoths which became extinct when it ended. This is the eastern edge of what today we call Asia during the Ice Age. Among the many creatures of that epoch, some have survived, but most have disappeared. This is the family of mammoths that lost a mother and her daughter in that frozen river last winter. A young mammoth playfully chases after a young giant deer. Mungchi is the young male who is chasing the young deer under the watchful eye of its mother. Mungchi is 3 years and has become quite a troublemaker. The disappointed Mungchi returns to his family. Mammoths maintain a matriarchal social group. The head of this mammoth family is a 40-year-old female. The rest of the members are all her descendants. The female mammoth welcoming Mungchi is his mother. She is the oldest daughter of the matriarch, and she is second in command. The ruddy-colored young mammoth over there, next to Mungchi's mother, is called Gonem. Gonem, who Mungchi seems to like more than his mother, is the daughter of the female who drowned in the river last winter. In the wild, it's extremely difficult for a youngster to survive after losing its mother. But among mammoths who share a strong family bond, such a thing is possible. Right now, this band is composed of 5 members, but they are waiting for a 6th. It is a spring day during the Ice Age, but night eventually returns to the plain. From deep in the forest, where not even the moonlight can penetrate, a painful roar spreads across the land. The matriarch's youngest daughter is in labor. She exhales with difficulty. The night is growing darker, while the pain of labor grows stronger. Childbirth is the single most dangerous moment in the wild. It provides a golden opportunity for would-be predators. In fact, this pack of saber-toothed tigers, the fiercest animals in the Ice Age, is causing more distress to the new mother than her intense labor pangs. The saber-toothed tigers have waited some time for this precise moment, when the mother mammoth is most vulnerable. As soon as this new life arrives in this world, this pack of vicious felines approaches, ready to pounce on the helpless prey. The saber-toothed tigers try to distract the mother from her newborn. Taken aback by the mother's formidable defense, the saber-tooths begin to retreat. In the end, their attack was all for naught. At that moment, the new mother approaches her young to check on her. But her newborn, covered in blood, doesn't budge at all. It is the next morning in the forest. Somehow, the newborn managed to survive the night. She is able to stand and nurse. Just 12 hours after her birth, she is drinking her mother's milk. On this spring day in the latter years of the Great Ice Age, a female mammoth of the species humans would later call Mammothus primigenius entered this world. Her name is Mammoth, and what follows is her story. It is early summer. The Ice Age still reigns, but the sunlight is warm. Mammoth, now 3 years old, is still struggling. When she nurses from her mother, her center of gravity moves backwards. With her hind legs injured from bites by the saber-tooths, she has difficulty supporting her own weight, and she easily falls down. The scars on her left ear have healed, but the development of her hind legs is stunted. Critical nerves and muscles were damaged. Mammoth's mother constantly moves around, ignoring her daughter's search for milk. Knowing Mammoth hates to walk due to the wounds on her hind leg, her mother forces her to practice walking. Every young creature in the wild is an easy target for predators. For those youngsters with limbs that are slow or injured, the chances of becoming prey are quite high. The mother is well aware of such cruel laws of nature. Until Mammoth reaches adulthood and can better defend herself from attacks, many obstacles lie ahead on the road to maturity. Even the Ice Age has 4 distinct seasons. The summer heat is particularly perplexing for these creatures evolved to endure the cold. But what bothers them the most is the small flying insects. The best solution is to take a mud bath. A bulky 6-ton mammoth can do little against these tiny insects that are smaller than the tip of one's little toe. Using their trunk to cover their bodies with mud is all these giant creatures can do. Despite the sizzling heat and the persistent bugs, this mammoth trio seems to lose track of time as they relish their mud bath. The forest-dwelling saber-toothed tigers also gave birth this spring. In order to feed her cubs, the saber-toothed mother must go hunting every day. After she heads out in search of prey, this trio of mammoths enters the forest. Many herbivorous creatures make their home in the vast plain. Carnivores who eye these gentle plant eaters keep themselves out of sight at the edge of the forest. Unwittingly, The young mammoths approach the saber-toothed tiger's hidden lair. As game approaches, the saber-toothed mother is on heightened alert. Meanwhile, back in the forest, Mammoth has her first encounter with the saber-toothed youngsters. The appearance of their mother ensures that the meeting does not last long. As long as they share this same forested plain, it is an encounter that will be repeated. The band of mammoths is always on the move, searching for food. At 3 to 4 meters tall, these animals weigh from 4 to 6 tons. Fossil evidence indicates that one tusk alone may have weighed more than 100 kilograms. In order to sustain their massive bodies, mammoths must eat 200 to 300 kilograms of plants, tree fruit, and tree roots each day. This forces the mammoths to migrate constantly in search of new sources of food. Mammoths originated in Africa about 2 million years ago and then spread to the rest of the world. Some in Siberia eventually came down to what is Korea today. Young mammoths learn many things from their parents. Mammoth follows her mother and notes her every action. Her mother is trying to teach Mammoth how to break tree branches. But snapping branches is a task that's too challenging for Mammoth. Mung-Chi's mother looks upset. This is because Mung-Chi doesn't stay near her, not even for a minute. In a band composed mostly of females, the behavior of a young and mischievous male stands out. Mung-Chi is still young but wanders around, led by his curious male instinct. As usual, his sense of mischief causes problems. This brings on another incident. A branch he carelessly tossed aside has landed in the territory of a fierce, woolly rhinoceros. Fortunately, Mengqi was not the target of the woolly rhinoceros. Other animals also learn survival techniques from their parents. Saber-toothed cubs learn from their mother how to hunt. For these meat-eating predators, this struggling young deer is like a living textbook. They're still young, but they are already controlled by fierce animal instincts. The long winter of the late Ice Age has begun. The great animal migrations have also started. Plant-eating animals have already set off on their long journeys. Animals that eat the leaves and the tree roots linger a little longer and leave later. Mammoths are able to withstand the Siberian cold, but they can't endure hunger. The temperature keeps dropping. The mammoths prepare themselves for a long trek. As the time of their departure approaches, the mother worries about Mamu and her continued limp. Her band lost some of its own while crossing this frozen river last winter. This year, they plan to cross the river before it freezes. They all worry about 9-month-old Mamu. They wonder if she can endure this long, harsh journey. According to meteorological research from the mid-20th century, the average January temperature in the plateau region of this part of East Asia was minus 18 degrees Celsius. Temperatures on the mountaintops dropped to minus 25 degrees Celsius. One can only imagine how much colder it was during the Ice Age. The band's matriarch has made some tough choices. She hopes to finish this journey without any major obstacles. Finally, the mammoths depart on their odyssey. Young Mamu must have made a long journey between northern and southern Asia. Particularly for a crippled young mammoth, this migration was no easy task. Their path includes no road signs. They are guided only by the memories of those who have made this journey before. On their way south, there's a wide river they have to cross. The matriarch urges her family to cross the river before it freezes. They don't know when this journey will end, but in order to survive, they must take their young on this grueling trek. modulates their pace. But because of Mammoth's limp, the band inevitably must slow down. They arrive here at the river where they lost two beloved family members last winter. They pause, but they know it's the only way south. The band stops at the river. The river is extremely cold, but there's no time to waste. Crossing a river frozen requires ice strong enough to support a 6-ton mammoth. But the entire band could die of starvation waiting for such a time. The family matriarch is the first to step into the water. Mungchi is always full of courage beyond what is necessary. Fearlessly goes in right after her. Following the matriarch, whose concern is always for the safety of her band, Mungchi's mother and Gonem enter the river. Now it's Mammoth and her mother's turn to enter the icy water. Her mother shows her how to traverse these swift waters, but Mammoth hesitates when she sets foot in the cold river. She tries to muster the courage to follow her mother into the water, but she shrinks back in fear. Mammoth's mother has been ignoring her on purpose, but she knows she has no choice but to go back for her daughter. Reluctantly, Mammoth's mother must give up her quest to cross the river. It's too tough a task for Mammoth to swim to the opposite bank with her injured leg. Ultimately, the band becomes separated by the river. The mother decides to wait until the river freezes over completely. Then she and her daughter will make their way across. It has snowed a great deal over the past several days. 1 week has passed since they made the decision to wait for the river to freeze. A hungry Mammoth is asking for milk. But her mother, too, has been starving for several days. There's simply no milk to offer her daughter. Mammoth and her mother have spent the week standing at the river's edge. have drawn the attention of the saber-tooths in the area. For several days, Mammoth's mother has searched the river for places where the ice is thick. The ice appears to be thicker, but Mammoth's mother is cautious. If she were to fall through the ice and into the water, her daughter would almost certainly be devoured by the starving saber-tooths. This is exactly what she witnessed last winter. Meanwhile, the band's matriarch has been leading the rest of the family south. Down in this valley, they find another group of mammoths. No other creatures have as strong a family bond as the mammoths. They are distraught over the death of one of their own. If the matriarch herself lives a full life, her last moments will be shared with her family just like this, allowing her to say goodbye. Weeks have passed since Mammoth and her mother became stranded here. The situation is growing intense. Saber-toothed tigers begin to plot their attack. They too have hungry youngsters to feed. It's time to make a difficult choice. Get caught by those vicious felines or risk death in the icy river. The mother takes a tentative first step into the frozen river, hoping her daughter will have the courage to follow. The saber-tooths have been waiting for just such an opportunity. Mammoth's mother notices the danger and rushes back to save Mammoth. The saber-tooths have been starving for days. They're in no mood to back off this time. Such a confrontation was inevitable. At just that moment, the last herd of giant deer from the north arrives at the river. Looking to the deer as a new opportunity, the saber-tooth decide to forego what would have been a dangerous battle with the mammoth mother. They're well aware that the giant deer are far easier prey to catch. Loss is unexpected fortune for Mammoth and her mother. They are grateful. While Mammoth mammoths have evolved bigger and heavier bodies for protection. Giant deer have evolved to preserve their species through sheer numbers. In this way, their genes will be passed on to future generations even if some are caught by predators. For now, the rest of the deer are safe. And Mammoth is safe too. While the saber-toothed tigers devour their meal, Mammoth and her mother quickly make their way across the frozen river. After this near-death experience, Mammoth doesn't hesitate to follow her mother's steps. After they cross this river, they'll be able to catch up with the rest of their band. The first step is the toughest. Once Mammoth tries, she finds walking on the ice isn't as difficult as she imagined. Mammoth actually comes to enjoy walking on the ice. Her pace picks up as she proceeds to the deep center of the river. One winter's day in the last ice age, a young mammoth crosses a river that was to be one of the obstacles in her long life. A month has passed since the rest of the family arrived here. But Mammoth and her mother haven't been seen, not since they got separated from the others at the riverbank. The rest of the family is worried about them. They may have been attacked by saber-tooths, or they might have drowned while crossing the river. Everything up north must have frozen over by now. As the green fields with lush plant life have shrunk, the mammoths have found themselves traveling farther and farther each year in search of food. One by one, the animals that are unable to endure this long trek disappear. Finally, Mammoth and her mother are spotted up on top of the hill. 2 weeks after they crossed the river, the mother's hazy memory finally brought them to this place. Finally, reunited with their beloved family, Mammoth and her mother rushed to be with them. The matriarch's wait for these two is now over. The young mammoth, called Mammoth, has spent the first year of her life very close to death. Month-long journey, Mammoth has finally returned to the warm embrace of her family. Despite physical difficulties, Mammoth reaches the age of 13 under the watchful eye of her mother. Vicious battle erupts among males vying for female attention. The mammoth family struggles to endure unusual new weather patterns. Cave life, a fierce creature of the Ice Age, goes through a period of extremes. There are endless hardships for Mammoth and her family. The giant mammoths, among the largest of the Earth's mammals, disappear from the planet, leaving a message for the humans, the next rulers of the Earth.